When you think of city life, what comes to mind might be towering apartments and bustling streets. The regularly cited benefits of living in a city might be things like walking to the grocery store or public transportation. But an indispensable benefit to life in a city is access to culture. Cities are cultural centers teeming with people, working and living, but also playing. Where there are groups of people working, you can bet there are groups of people blowing off steam. What a city can offer in terms of access to fun is priceless. That's not to say that suburbia can't be fun, but its fun is limited to things like driving to the store, driving to get a coffee, and driving to another town to do something fun that might be over there. Larger communities have enough people to support a wide range of interesting things: comedy clubs, music venues, recreational sports leagues. It's hard to have a comedy club or independent music venue in a suburb. Zoning laws, lack of foot traffic, and an inconsistent customer base make for tough business. It makes sense for businesses to base themselves in a city because, based on population alone, their market return is higher than it could ever be in the suburbs. A huge number of people in one central location means that no matter how niche your interest is, you're bound to share it with somebody. Or potentially hundreds of somebodies. Board game bars, kickball leagues, Dungeons and Dragons groups, hell, even BDSM parties, food foraging groups, or taxidermy. You want it, the city has got it. Cities can provide resources and physical spaces like public libraries, museums, and theaters. These spaces might host free and paid events like galas, exhibits, and holiday celebrations. Cities will host summer movies in the park, as well as guided tours around popular attractions, or First Fridays, a street festival with participating businesses on the first Friday of every month. That might sound specific, but most major cities have this, or a version of it. Suburbs can be nice too if you like chain restaurants, faraway strip malls, and teenagers smoking at the playground after dark. Then the suburbs might just be your thing. Suburbs are marked by their quiet streets, large lawns, and cookie-cutter houses. What they're also marked by, as anyone who grew up in a suburb will tell you, is bored teenagers drinking in basements and smoking in public parks. Sometimes they're home to even more nefarious things, like the American roaming clown epidemic of 2016. Or London, Ontario in Canada, which was once considered the serial killer capital of the world. Between 1960 and 1985, there were as many as 6 serial killers, all operating in this quaint suburban city. Yeah, shit got real in fake London. But if there's one thing for sure that prevents someone from becoming a serial killer, it's staying busy. A city's cultural scene home to arts and entertainment options keeps the freaks out of trouble. A cultural scene allows them to let their freak flag fly. It says, whatever your interest is, there is a home for you. The isolation and monotony of the suburbs only leads to despair. It leads to the McDonald triad, which leads to serial killing, which leads to tasteless true crime documentaries and podcasts. At the very best, it leads to a life of Olive Garden, Applebee's, and 9 p.m. bedtimes. City life is taking a walk around the block, dropping off a package to be mailed, hitting a grocery store, and then running into a neighbor. It's going out for an 8 p.m. drink and then getting dragged to a music show of an up-and-coming artist who will blow up next year, so you'll be able to tell everyone you liked them before they were popular. It's seeing a traveling Van Gogh exhibit that's coming to a museum near you. It's not driving for your entertainment. It's not scheduling family field trips. It's living in a place where culture is at your fingertips. Cities make having fun a low lift. Rather than a day-long event requiring hours of planning and travel, it's fun right outside your front door. Walk to the museum, visit a farmer's market or maker's market, check out pop-up exhibits, concerts, and a comedy showcase. In every major city, there is an open mic comedy scene, which is a fantastic free way to get some of the best and worst entertainment you've ever encountered. When events like this are common, it drives the price of the event down. It also drives the sunk cost investment of your time down. You're more willing to risk a wasted night out on something awful because you can just go and do another thing the next night. It's not the weekend you've been planning for months that needs to go well, it's just Tuesday. Cities are home to events, buildings, programs, just basic shit to do that the suburbs cannot compete with. When people have stuff to do, they are happier. They feel more creative, more fulfilled. They aren't doomed to scrolling endlessly while glued to the couch. This allows you to meet more people who you might share more in common with. It keeps kids out of each other's basements and away from empty parking lots by giving them interesting age-appropriate events instead. Cities can offer summer camps, teen groups, peer resource centers, children's day at the museum, after-school programs. Now, your kid might think these things are lame, but that's your problem, not the city's. This might seem obvious, but every member of a family benefits from having stuff to do in the real world. In an age where most of us keep in touch with friends digitally, having access to events outside the home matters more than ever, which is yet another reason why I love the city.